I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. St. Pete has literally a neighborhood for everybody. But if you don't know where to start, you don't know where to look, you don't know even anywhere remotely of what the map of St. Pete looks like, then this video is exactly for you. In this video, I'm gonna go over a full entire map tour of St. Pete. I'm specifically checking out the different neighborhoods. I'm going to be sharing my screen so you can actually walk, or I can walk you through exactly what everything looks like on the map of St. Pete. I'm going directly from Google Maps itself. My name is Hayes Calloway and I'm a real estate agent here in St. Petersburg, Florida. I help relocation buyers and also sellers make the move whenever they need to every single day. And honestly, the number one question I always get is, where the heck do I live? Where should I venture on a map? And that question in and of itself, there are so many other questions to ask. And so we're gonna dive into it right here, right now. So to kick things off, I'm gonna start writing Google Maps. You can actually, I'll walk through on the screen with you. So I'm gonna actually screen share into Google Maps. So pretty much for starters, this is the area of St. Pete. So we have St. Petersburg down here, just north of us. Like I mentioned, is Clearwater. To the east side is Tampa. And so, as I mentioned before, we are a peninsula. So we are connected right here at the top, but we have water on all three sides. So on the right side, you'll have Tampa Bay. On the left side, or the west side, is the Gulf of America. And so zooming in a little bit closer is where we'll find downtown St. Pete. So it's located at that bottom right side of St. Petersburg, just in the middle, which is kind of cool. In terms of areas and neighborhoods, we're gonna start with downtown just because I always go over downtown in every video I do. So it'll give you a good idea of what specifically we're talking about. Lots of people within downtown, they spend a lot of their time along Central Avenue. So Central Avenue is gonna be the most walkable street in all of St. Pete because there's tons of restaurants, shops, everything in between. There is actually a bunch of good restaurants. Berg's is a great sports bar. Bavaro's is a great pizza place on the strip as well. Coming down a little bit further, more towards just the area, I'm gonna go high level to start. Once you hit Beach Drive, this is where you'll have a lot more restaurants. So restaurants are all along Beach Drive, and this is where you'll actually turn into North Straub Park. So this is a really great area to bring your dog, or even just take a stroll at night, or even in the morning, whatever. Across from that is St. Pete Pier. So cool part about St. Pete Pier, you can walk this whole entire thing. At the end of St. Pete Pier, you actually have Teak, which is the restaurant, but you also have Pier Tiki. And this is a really cool place to actually see a really nice landscape of just what the overall arching like skyline view of St. Pete, which is really cool. So if I zoom back out of here, we come back down the pier. And so pretty much coming all the way over here. When we go down to this area, this is where you'll have, there's actually a stadium here. So this is Eiling Stadium. This is where the Rowdies play. It's a soccer team here in St. Pete, which is cool. I have lots of friends that will actually go to a Rowdies game during the week. Just go and watch. It's soccer, in case you're not aware. I wasn't aware before I came here, so that was news to me. Coming down here is where you'll actually have more museums. So the Dolly Museum is down here on the map as well. So this is one museum. There is an airport down here too, the Albert Whitted Airport, and this is for more like private airplanes and those types of, short charter jets coming in this area. And you also have University of South Florida. St. Pete campus is just below downtown. So I know a lot of people will come here for college because, University of South Florida has a campus right here. Okay, so getting back on track, that's kind of all downtown altogether. Obviously, we can do a full tour of downtown and we can actually go into spots. Where I want to head next is just north of downtown, which is Old Northeast. And so pretty much so that you can see what that looks like, it's this area right above downtown. Best part about this area, people love they're able to walk easily to downtown, but they have more space. So these will be your single family homes that are generally closer to the downtown area. I'm even gonna take the Walking Man and just put him, let's go right here. Here's a great example. So you get a good amount of property in Old Northeast. So these are bigger plots and they are bigger homes as well. And so it is one of the most desirable places in all of St. Pete to actually live. One of the best part about it, you get also these brick streets, which is really cute. And lots of people, we get tons of feedback from people that come through and they're like, oh wow, I'd love to live on a brick street. Not every street will have bricks. Some of them are paved, but certain neighborhoods that are in a historic area, they actually have kept those brick streets, which is really cool. And so even as we come down this road, like you can see these homes, they're on bigger plots, they're situated a little bit further back, and you get a bigger home. That's not gonna be every single spot of this area, but I would say primarily you're looking at mostly homes that are of a bigger caliber. In terms of area, what this is on the map, so we have North Shore Park just to the east of it. This is a great area to honestly walk, bike, whatever you like to do on your weekends. I know tons of people will actually, there's volleyball courts down there. There's also outdoor swimming as well. So you can actually, there's a lap pool. So people will actually go and do laps. Just a ton of outdoor focused activities. Along just this north side of Old Northeast is also little spots where you'll actually see people fish from. So there is a great opportunity within the bay to actually, you know, get fish. So you'll see a bunch of fishermen just along that ledge as well. Cool part about Old Northeast as well, you are located right next to 4th Street. So along this whole entire strip, there are tons of restaurants, grocery stores, honestly, everything in between. It's just a super centralized area. Great. So I'm all over Old Northeast. Where we're gonna head to next is actually Kenwood. So I'm gonna type in historic Kenwood in this. And so you guys can get a good idea of where that pocket is. So there is historic Kenwood. There's also North Kenwood as well, which you see on the screen. These are going to be your neighborhoods that are situated a little bit west of downtown. They're not super duper far, like they're not Barrier Islands far, but they're just west. And so another really popular area, I will say, about Kenwood. And the cool part about it, let's zoom in a little bit more. I'm going to take the walking man through so you get a good range in terms of what these homes look like. So you'll see a lot of historic charm in these homes. There's a good bungalow feel in each one of these homes that you can go and see. And every house, that's the cool part about this area, every house is completely different. So you will not see the same cookie cutter home in this area whatsoever. And this is a great place in terms of price point. Prices can range anywhere from as low as the 450s all the way up to 750 and so on, just depending on what type of home you're looking for. And obviously what square footage it is, that type of thing. Really best part about Kenwood is, in historic Kenwood, is you do have the ability to, you could walk technically to Central. Most people would drive down or bike down, and then that's where they would actually go into downtown from there. You have a slew of different restaurants, anything from 20th Street all the way up to, I would say, at least 20th to 28th Street has a lot of good restaurants within it, and there are some still developing and coming our way as well. Just north of us is North Kenwood as well, so even these areas up to 9th Avenue and then some. I used to live right by Booker Creek Park. Great area, really cute park with just a lot of, you could even circle the whole entire park the whole time. It's a cool area. And so even this area is really nice because just west of you is 34th Street, which is where you'll find a ton, like there's a Walmart, there's also a couple Publixes, there's even a Sam's Club right off 34th. So it just makes you a lot more centralized and just have access to, you know, bigger name shops, but you will definitely need a car. So this is a good idea of Kenwood. Next, we're gonna check out, I'm gonna put in Snell Isle, and we can actually go over to Snell Isle to show. So this is gonna be just east and north of Old Northeast. So we were just over in Old Northeast. So this is located, we're going back east. Snell Isle, this is probably the highlight of this area, is the Vinoy Golf Club. This is where you're gonna get a huge, or I would say bigger homes. So bigger homes, much higher price point. This is a very, I would say, valuable area that people they want to live in. Just to give you a good idea, I'm gonna drop the walking man just down the street. This is a good example of just how bigger homes these are. are and bigger plots. This area is definitely a flood prone area, so that's something you definitely want to take into account when you at least search in this area. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous place. The cool part about it too is that there are opportunities for you to live right on the bay. So especially for people looking for bayfront areas where you could just park your boat and then drive it all the way out to the Gulf as well, it gives you a good option too. So that was Snell Isle. I'm gonna venture a little bit further out. So if we go over here, in this area, Magnolia Heights, Euclid, St. Paul, these are also gonna be a lot of single family homes. So a lot of good opportunity. I have lots of friends, clients that actually live out in this area. And so, I mean, price points can range. It's still in a very highly sought after area. So prices can go as low, I would say, as some homes, 350,000 all the way up to at least, I mean, those newer builds could be $1 million plus in certain pockets. Coming over to a little bit more of the west side. So Diston Heights is a great neighborhood that is price friendly, which is great. Lots of, I would say, millennials are looking in this area just because it is a bit more affordable homes in a very safe area, which is great. I would say also Central Oak Park, which is going to be this area right here by United Central. Another great up and coming area that just offers a lot of good bang for your buck and also is cost effective. So just to give a good idea of what this looks like, if I take the Walking Man. So here you go. These homes are going to be a bit smaller size, but you do get a normal plot, or I would say a good like 45 by 127 lot size, which is super helpful when, you know, if you did want to add a pool or just add an ADU in the back, something to give your space a little bit more, you know, depth. Awesome. To wrap up my tour, I want to just go a little bit south to one of the cutest areas that I actually talked about within my top 5 neighborhoods video, and that is Gulfport. Gulfport is going to be super cute. It's a more of a hippie area, I would say, and it offers its own little city within St. Pete, which is really cute. It has a really nice downtown area. The homes here are still that bungalow style feel, and also you'll get a price range because there is an ability to live right on the beach here, which is nice. There is Gulfport Beach right down here, just to give you a good idea of what this actually looks like. So beautiful. So this is showing a little bit more the downtown Gulfport area. So just some cute little shops within the area. One of the best places I usually like to hang out and go to at least once or twice or 3 times a year is Pia's. So Pia's is a great Italian restaurant. This is just kind of showing you that like you have the ability in Gulfport to live right by, in a single family home, right by the downtown area. So it just gives you a nice little ability to, you could walk from your home to actually get to those different restaurants, coffee shops, whatever. So without even having to leave Gulfport. So that's how it makes it kind of its city within, or it makes its own pocket within St. Pete altogether, which is really nice. And so finally, as a last tour, I'm gonna zoom out of Gulfport just a little bit more, and we can actually go just to show once again the different spots. So this is that downtown St. Pete area spot. You'll have Old Northeast right here, Snell Isle here. Right in these little pockets are the northeast side of St. Pete. So there will be nice single family homes in this area. Right in the center, we have North Kenwood and honestly historic Kenwood. And then just to the east, or excuse me, the west of that is Central Oak Park, Diston Heights. This will be an area that's great for especially people wanting to buy their first home, or also it's just a nice, safe area. It's great. Just south of that is Gulfport. Gulfport is, you know, a little place in and of itself. Far to that west side is the Barrier Islands. And so this is, you just get so many different beaches, starting with Paso Grill all the way down here, St. Pete Beach, Treasure Island, Madeira Beach, and then we just keep going up the coast as well. So that's kind of like the high level of, if I was scoping out a map for myself, what it kind of looks like and how I would actually go through it with my clients. Once you actually dumb down the actual area you want, that's where everything else falls into place. And when I say dumb down, I mean as in not just going off of something with price point, but also going over it with the lifestyle you're looking to live long-term here in St. Pete. So that's your complete map tour of the best neighborhoods within St. Pete. I like going really in depth with those, especially when I'm working with clients that are looking to relocate. If at any point you are looking to relocate, please feel free to reach out. My information is right here on the screen. I'd love for us to hop on Zoom so we can actually go and iron out exactly what your relocation process will look like, what your questions are, go over the timeline, and then ultimately get you down here for a relocation visit. And to finish everything off, I've actually put together a full playlist that is super helpful when it comes to navigating neighborhoods, lifestyle, and cost of living within St. Pete. You can access it right here. Until next time.